All right, so speaking about DLC, it's a good segue into our main topic, which is I want to talk about at what point do you decide you want to buy the DLC? Um, at what point do you figure out just like, hey, this DLC just costs too much, kind of like the DLC for Fire Emblem?
Yeah, I mean, I think you and me can both agree that the DLC costing more than the game is pretty insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you've seen it with especially big multiplayer games like Call of Duty and Battlefield that do their $50 pass for all the map packs, but a lot of time they're promising, new maps every month for 10, 12 months.
Yeah,
And I mean, those games, their main focuses are the multiplayer. So, a lot of people will buy into that, and, they're the kind of people that I'm going to play Call of Duty until Call of Duty comes out next year. So, but I don't think I could ever be that person and buy that. Like, I know, like I said before, when my brother got me to buy Black Ops 3, he kept saying, like, buy the season pass, we can play. And I'm like, nah, I'll just buy the map pack by itself, because I knew, like, maybe I'll buy the first two, but there's no way I'm gonna keep playing this for the next year. There's no point in me paying $50 or $60 or whatever it was to do this DLC. So
yeah,
I don't think it's a clear cut answer. I mean, I'm not usually one that buys many DLCs in general, but I mean, some of the criteria, it's got to be a game that I'm super interested in. And even then, like, with how many games I play and the backlog I have, like, when I beat a game, I feel accomplished. I beat it, and it's time to move on to a new game.
yeah,
So unless that game like really like captivated me, or just like either the story or the content is something that I'm super interested in and I want to keep playing, then that's when I'm gonna look into if I feel like the price they have on the DLC is gonna be worth it. And it's the other thing too is that sometimes that DLC gets so cheap
yeah,
after a few months. You know what I mean? And if it's not a multiplayer game where you're like, if you don't get it now and play with everyone now, then it's not gonna be worth it later. If it's a single player DLC or something like that, and you can go back and play it in 6 months or a year even,
yeah,
and you can pay $5 instead of $30, then
yeah. Might as well.
yeah, that's when I'm more likely to buy it, and I have in the past done that.
Like, I know DLC is designed to get players back into the game after it's been out for X amount of months, and to give the extra content that they think they could have that could benefit the game itself. I am also not one to buy a lot of DLC. The last DLC that I purchased was Persona 5, just because I wanted the different battle background music. But other than that, I literally can't remember when I bought DLC. It's hard to say. I was thinking about buying Final Fantasy 15's season pass, but after beating that game and then just finding out that there's blatant spots to where they cut out potential like story plot just so that they can sell it as DLC, which I do not condone whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, taking it just frustrates me, like, even especially with like Fire Emblem, where didn't they just announce this game like 2 or 3 months ago?
Yep.
So they just announced it, or not? Is there a release date on that at all yet?
The Fire Emblem Fates?
Yeah.
Or, sorry,
Echoes.
Echoes? I believe there is. Let me look it up. Go on.
But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous that a couple months after the game is announced, that you're telling us that there's going to be a DLC and this is what's going to be in the DLC, like that it's all planned out and everything like that. And I don't think that's the right way to do it. I mean, obviously you're going to have some sort of idea if you're going to do DLC or not, but you got a release date there?
Yep. It says... it says... April 20th,
I don't think that's right.
2017. Maybe that came out in Japan, but it's not out over here, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, either way, I guess that does kind of change things a little bit if it actually is out in Japan already, and then you're getting DLC announcements because then the game is out. So
Okay, here we go. I believe I see May 19th. That makes a lot more sense.
so it is that soon.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And it comes with some really awesome looking amiibos.
You got to stop
Regardless.
with the amiibos.
Regardless.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you that it should be there to, make people interested in the game again or keep people continuing to play it, not to withhold story and make you pay or keep that story ransom until you pay to find out what happened. That's
Yeah.
kind of messed up.
But like, in this situation, like for Fire Emblem, it's more maps, like a little more in depth of like random characters and stuff. It's not necessarily needed, but it's still I wouldn't pay that much money for a season pass for any game really. Like even if let's like for example Persona 5, I purchased DLC for that. If they offered like a $40 season pass, I probably still wouldn't have bought that season pass.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know the content that they're coming out with, and it's sometimes not even always worth it to get the DLC.
Yeah, and I've bought in DLC in the past a few years ago, like season passes, and then I never went back and played them because I had already kind of lost interest in the game. And I know that's supposed to make you have interest again, but like I never even went back to play them. So
Yeah, no, I have the same problem as you do. Just like once I beat a game, I want to move on to the next thing because I have so many games backlogged.
yeah, the one way that they're doing DLC that I've seen with Microsoft recently that I actually like is that they did it with the last Halo and Gears of War 4, where they're giving away all the new maps for free. They go for free for everybody, and then they go to a microtransaction model where you can unlock different skins and characters and stuff like that, and that's how they make their money off the extra content. But they're starting to realize, I think, in this multiplayer, like, you're really creating a bad experience when, hey, this person has these maps, this person doesn't, they can't play together, they can't be in the same playlists together.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating for people, and it's annoying because, like, hey, I bought the game, I want to play with my friends, but I can't. So
Yeah.
I really like that they're going that route. I think they'll keep going that route, and microtransactions don't really bother me as long as someone's not paying their way to becoming.
Yeah, as long as
unbeatable.
it's not pay to win. Like I think it's one of the past Call of Duties where you naturally unlock guns when you rank up, but like if you bought their DLC or just like some pack, they unlock all the guns for you right away, and
Yeah.
that's just kind of that's pay to win. That's kind of unfair.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the one really cool DLC that I might actually look into is Forza Horizon 3 because I played that game. I was pretty much done with it. I beat it. Well, I mean, you never really beat a racing game, but
Yeah.
but I got the credits to roll. So in my mind I beat it.
Yeah.
And the first DLC came out, which was like a snowy, like Blizzard Mountain, I think it was called, something like that. And that got really good reviews. People liked that. It was a lot of like just downhill, like crazy avalanches, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, but I'm not gonna bother. I got enough games to play.
Yeah.
I saw it go on sale once for like half off. Almost bought it, still didn't. And then this week they just announced the second DLC, which is a Hot Wheels pack.
I heard about that. Yeah, drive. It's your Hot Wheels simulator.
Yeah, it's I'd heard about it, and then I watched the trailer this morning, and it looks really fun. It's literally just like the map of Forza, but then throughout the entire city, there's just Hot Wheels tracks going through the entire city.
That's
up
cool.
in the air, like upside down, like it's insane. And then they got a lot of the Hot Wheel cars in there, brought up to life size, obviously.
Yeah.
And it looks really fun. So it wasn't something I was expecting out of a Forza game.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, and the Horizon series is more arcadey, but they just I feel like they were just all sitting around tables like, what should we do? So I was like, oh, Hot Wheels. Like, it's like, oh, you're funny, but like, actually, let's try this out. So
Or maybe Hot Wheels went to them. It's like, how can you make our cars more realistic? You think you can make a game out of it? It's like, maybe.
I wonder who's paying who there. It's great marketing for both, I feel like.
Yeah, seriously, I still can't believe Hot Wheels is still going strong.
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing where like you hear these good reviews for multiple DLCs, and at this point, maybe I look into getting the season pass because I know there's at least 2 good DLCs that I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah.
And then whatever 1 or 2 other ones you're going to get in the future, which are probably going to get the same care and treatment that the first 2 got.
Yeah.
So
do you know how much the Hot Wheels pack is going to be?
I think they said it was 20 by itself. I think both packs are $20 if you're buying by themselves.
Okay.
And then if you buy the season pass, it's 40 or 50, I think. So you're going to get that. I think there's one more that's in the DLC pack, so you're going to save a little bit of money for the 3 of them. So it is tough, though, because you're investing $60 into these games, and then investing another $30 to $50 when there's so many other games you could be playing is always going to be tough.
That's halfway towards a new game.
Yeah, and that's what they're all trying to fight for your attention. So, I mean, some games are going to do it well. I feel like most of them don't.
Yeah, no, and we kind of we let this culture cultivate where game companies release DLC for these games, and they know they have that market of people that will buy it. And like I said, like I purchased DLC before, you purchased DLC before, so we're adding to that, and that's just the way of the future for most games. I believe they're gonna release a game, finished or not, and then they're just gonna throw DLC, like every quarter or so, or who knows, even monthly for depending on what kind of game it is.
Yeah, and then it's funny because then you get games like GTA 5, Overwatch, Rocket League, where you're like, wow, these developers are great. They're giving us all this free content, and we're surprised that they're supporting their game after you've already paid for it, and they're not getting any more necessarily money for it. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of those games still have microtransactions that they can make money off of, but like they're investing a lot of manpower and time into doing all these updates and stuff that they're not making direct money off of right away. But it's funny because that surprises us. They're like, "Wow, that's really surprising. They're not making us pay for this."
Yeah, that's just a good model on their part. Like Overwatch, yes, they come out with new characters, and they come out with new skins, and if you really want to, you can put money into buying loot boxes, and you're not paying to win. You're just paying for cosmetics at that point.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to episode 2 of the Quick Reload Cast.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Keep an eye out for our Let's Plays. If you have a game you want to see us play, leave it in the comments below.
I'm Jared Joy.
And I'm Scotty Kunavong.
Thanks for watching.